Hello, everyone. My name is Zulfiqar, and welcome to another episode of Income Investors. With me today is John Whitefoot with another exciting income pick. If you want to read more about what John writes on a regular basis, you can head to incomeinvestors.com, or you can find the link to the website in the description below. As that old saying goes, you can't judge a book by its cover. The same holds true for Wall Street. You can't judge a company by its name. While GeoPark Limited, traded on New York Stock Exchange under symbol GPRK, may be a great oil and gas and exploration company, but you could be forgiven for thinking it's an environmental company that works in the green economy. But it's not. It's leading exploration and production company with operations across Latin America. While many have been calling for the end of crude oil and predicting peak oil demand for years now. The fact of the matter is the demand for oil is expected to grow for decades. OPEC recently increased its growth forecast for next year by 100,000 barrels per day to 1.38 million barrels per day. Further out, OPEC expects world oil demand to rise from around 102 million barrels per day in 2025 to hit 120.1 million barrels per day by 2050. Admittedly, OPEC may not be the most objective source, but its bullish calls still point to supply growth from OPEC and non-OPEC members. And frankly, when it comes to sourcing oil and gas, you'd think it would make more sense to look to our allies than bother with authoritarian nations like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and United Arab Emirates. And that's where GeoPark Limited comes in. John?
Yeah, thanks, Mo. As you noted, GeoPark is a leading E&P company with a diversified portfolio of properties across Latin America. It currently has assets in Colombia, Ecuador, and Brazil with a 22-year track record. GeoPark's operations have ballooned from zero to 20,076 barrels of oil equivalent per day. The low-cost operator for 2025, approximately 87% of expected production is hedged with price floors between, I think it's $68 and $70 per barrel. The its operating costs are just $12.30 per barrel of produced barrel of oil equivalent. Some of the top tier companies it works with include Cargill, BP, Morgan Stanley, and JP Morgan.
I see that it recently reported solid second quarter results.
Yes, management noted that despite lower oil prices, its second quarter results were slightly ahead of existing guidance, and that they are actively reassessing their portfolio and cost structure, prioritizing capital allocation, divesting non-core assets, and exploring new organic and inorganic opportunities to generate value for the company and shareholders. And now to that end, for the second quarter, revenue slipped to $8 million, while average oil and gas production came in at 27,380 barrels of oil equivalent per day. Year to date, consolidated average oil and gas production was 28,223 barrels of oil equivalent per day. Now, its net loss actually improved to $10.3 million from $13.1 million in the first quarter. Excluding non-recurring charges, net profit was up 58% at $20.7 million. Now, those non-recurring charges came from the company divesting itself from non-core assets in Ecuador. Some quick other numbers. Adjusted EBITDA decreased 19% on a sequential basis to $71.5 million. The drop was a result of lower realized process and slight decrease in production volumes. Now, this was partially offset by an 8% reduction in production and operating costs. That's a good thing, to remain at $12.30 per barrel of produced barrels of oil equivalent. At the end of the second quarter, the company had, I think it's $266 million in cash, while net debt stood at $359.5 million.
If you like what you see so far, check out incomeinvestors.com. While you're there, you could also sign up for our free special report titled 3 Income Stocks to Own Today. One of those stocks currently has a dividend yield of 12.7%. You can find the link to incomeinvestors.com in the description below. And now back to the video. And John, I see that it declared a dividend of 14.7 cents per share.
Yeah, GeoPark has a long history of returning value to shareholders. Well, not that long. Since 2019, it returned $8 million through dividend and buybacks. On the dividend front, it targets $30 million in dividend payouts. In the second quarter, it declared a dividend of 0.147 cents per share, or approximately $7.5 million. This translates to an annual payout of 59 cents per share for a forward dividend yield of approximately 9%.
And GPRK stock has a triple-digit upside potential?
Yeah, now GPRK stock has been having a rough go of it, down 25% year to date and 23.5% over the last year. Now, that's at least of this recording. It's been making some moves, though, since bottoming in early April. Fears of what a global trade war could do to the economy, rising 21%. Wall Street noted is bullish on GPRK stock and expects it to close in on December 2019 highs of $18.39 per share, currently trading at $6.70 per share. Analysts have provided a 12-month share price target range of $10.40 to $18 per share.
John, thank you so much for your insights. GeoPark Limited is an E&P energy company with operations in Latin America. It has a strong balance sheet with safety nets in place, reliable cash flow generations, and dependable quarterly dividend. In the first half of 2025, it reported consolidated average oil and gas production of 28,223 barrels of oil equivalent per day. By 2028, it expects to scale the production to 70,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day. And in the longer term, 2030 and beyond, for that to grow to more than 100,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day. Those kind of growth metrics, coupled with robust and flexible capital allocation, should help juice its results, share prices, and dividend payouts. That's it for today, and make sure to go to incomeinvestors.com now to get our free special report on 3 income stocks to own today. One of those stocks currently has a dividend yield of 12.7%. You can find the link to incomeinvestors.com in the description below. We'll be back with more income picks soon, so stay tuned. And in the meantime, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye for now.